Well, hello there. It's Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room. And tonight I'm here for a technique. So hopefully you can be inspired and learn a few things. And we would love to be able to have you join in. If you're catching this live, be sure to comment and participate with us. It's always a lot of fun to be able to do that together, as well as be sure to enter, tell us where you're from. And yes, then you'll be also entered in our draw. So that is it for the live people. And then anybody catching the replay, same thing goes for you. You don't have to miss out. Please comment and you will be entered in the draw as well. So so glad that you can join me. There's Linda. Hello, Linda. Wonderful. Thank you for joining me. All right. Well, you see some berries in front of me, and I was trying to figure out, there's so many that I wanted to do tonight, and I got inspired because I've been eating raspberries, and here's the last few. I've been enjoying them. Oh, there's Penny. Hello, Penny. Nice. Nice to have you join us. So, yes, and Leanne, our friend, she had posted some raspberries that are still struggling and growing. So, it is the end. But anyway, I just had to be able to enjoy this one with the raspberries. It is one of our background stamps. Yes, you are definitely farther away. So glad that you can join us. Isn't it amazing with technology, the things that we can do now? It has its downsides. I tell you, I've been having a little frustration with my blog as I lost most of my stuff on my website. So technology can have its struggles, but this is one of the good things. All righty. So we are going to have a look here. This is in our annual catalog, and this is some of our background stamps that we have. And of course, here you can see we have the berry one, and they have cut out even, they've stamped and colored and then cut it out, which I thought was a cool idea. And here's another one with the tiles. I don't have that one, but that's kind of, the cool thing with these background stamps is you don't have to leave them all in one big background. You can do other things with them. And so I'm going to show you a few of those things here tonight. I should also mention that this Saturday is the virtual card making event, and this is a free event. So Stampin' Up is putting this on for everyone who wants to register. And if you go to my, hopefully it'll be on, I'll double check. I've been putting everything back on my blog, but I'll be sure to have the link on there for tonight once again. And if you don't get my newsletter, be sure to let me know. Send me your email, and you can be part of my email as well. That will have all the details. So I actually cannot attend this particular one just because I do a group for special needs, and it's the first Saturday of the month. So anyway, I do love them, and it's a fun group. So I won't be participating in that one. And then this is something that started this week. Woohoo! A join special as Stampin' Up. Oh, hi, Wendy. There she is. As Stampin' Up is 35 years old. And so they're giving you a choice of 35% off or 35% more of the goodies that you choose. So if you want any more information, you can go to my website, as you can see here, or you can contact me for more information. But it's always good to have little extra bonuses. And then next week, I have my tool time. And so you want to be able to register for that if you are close by. It is a wonderful way to be able to use all my stamps and inks and to be able to try things out. But if you're not, these are why I also do the lives, and that way you can use what you've got at home. So the techniques I will show you tonight can be with pretty much any background stamp. This one has a little bit more detail, of course, in it, but that's okay. We will show you a variety of ideas. Now I got to find where I put my black ink. We're going to start with the black Memento ink. And I have a card base already cut out. Now, normally, I would actually keep this piece a little bit bigger. And especially if my background stamp, if it had more specific to being straight, this one doesn't really matter because it's just a whole bunch of vines and berries. But otherwise, normally that's what I do because then I can trim it. Some people like to ink it up and put a paper over top, and it certainly works. I just find I have more pressure when I can be pressing down. So again, that's a personal choice, but that is what I find easier. And so in this case, we're just going to take our black Memento. And again, because it's such a large stamp, it's always way, way, way easier if you ink up your stamp rather than the other way around. And so just make sure. Now, you see I'm smudging it a little bit. With the black Memento ink, you can do that. You would not want to do that with our normal ink pads. But with the black Memento, you can do that. I want it nicely covered. Okay, and this is where I said I prefer to go down. So I am going to put, oh, and I got, look at me, black spots. Okay, let's turn this around. 2 sides to every paper. Okay, and I'm going to put that down. And just to apply more pressure, I normally stand up and put some more pressure on it. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's lift her up. And there we have it. Oh, I could have even done a little more. But, you know, let's say you're making a card and you have a big spot that didn't show up. Of course, we used to have the Stamparatus that would cover that. But what would you do? You know what you can do? This is where on your card, finished card, you could put your sentiment, or you could, as we had seen that they had cut out, colored and cut out some, maybe this is where you put the colored one. So there are many different ways that you can fix that. Now, oh, it's right here. I was going to look for my chamois. Here it is. Let's just get that. Now, I am not going to keep you by coloring this whole thing. I just wanted to be able to show you how I ink that. And what I did earlier is I already had one of these, or actually a few of these. I'm going to show you different ways. So this particular one, again, you can see I did the black Memento ink and I stamped. And I actually used the watercolor pencils. And so here are my watercolor pencils. And what I did, in this case, I used the Granny Apple Green. Now, you could mix a few different colors because actually I think I did that too on the berries. I think the berries, I actually took some of the, what is it, cherry cobbler. It's a little bit darker. To me, that really wasn't a real raspberry color, but I wanted to make it just a little bit of a different color. And now you can go back over. Now, when you apply the watercolor pencils, it kind of looks bland and boring. If I lift this up, you can see the difference. It doesn't look very nice. But this is why, and where did it go? Right here. We use a blender pen. So by using a blender pen, you just take that and you go over top of your watercolor pencil. And let's make sure you can see the difference. It just popped. And so that's all you do. I'll come back to that in a minute. I'm just going to do a few more berries because as you can see, I did almost all the rest so that I would be able to show you, but not keep you all night. Now, if you like coloring, this is a really good one. And I'm going to show you other ways that you don't have to use a lot of coloring for this stamp. But for those of us who enjoy coloring and it is relaxing, this is a fantastic one for that. So again, I'm going to just go over top with the blending pen all on the berry. Okay. And then when you're all done, just make sure you run your blending pen on some paper till it's clear again. Okay. And now we're going to take, in this case, I only used the one color, the Granny Apple Green. And I just noticed it is dull again. I've been using it for a lot of coloring today. Let's sharpen it up. Okay, so now I'm going to just do these stems, and you've got a little bit here, of course, where the berry is. So that I'm just going to color in like that. And then I'm going to go press down really hard on the veins. So because I am using the watercolor, I don't have to worry about it drying. I can take my time with this one. That's the one nice thing with the watercolor pencils. So I basically just want a little more color emphasized on the, excuse me, on the vines. Karaoke tonight. So then I'm just going to come in and just put a little bit of color here like this, just a teeny bit. And I know that looks pretty ugly right now, but this is where now we use our watercolor. Oh, actually, no, that's the next one. Oops, I'm skipping ahead. Oh dear. Okay, I've got so many ideas here I want to show you tonight. Okay, so this one here, we do want to kind of go over the whole image. Okay, now we can, oh, that's, I'm getting everything mixed up here. Oh, and that, oh boy, somebody hadn't cleaned that off. Okay, well, we got a little bit of red on there. All right, so now I'm going to take it from the dark and just move it out. And if you feel it is still not highlighted enough for you, maybe where the veins are, when it dries, you can actually go back over it. This is probably still too wet, but you could go back over it and add some more to it there. Okay, so there you have, oh, I got one more berry there, but anyway, you got the idea. That's how we do it with that one. Okay, now got another one. Let me keep this out so we can kind of compare, because I'm going to show you here now this one. Now this one, believe it or not, shows a little bit darker. And it is because I used our blends for this one. So when you open the blends, you know too to kind of cup it and kind of with your thumb move it. And that is because this piece can actually pull right out. I recently had that happen. So don't want to do that. So I've got the light, and then this is the dark. I'm just going to keep both open. And I am going to just color in first. Now, sometimes people like to start with the dark. I prefer to start with the light and then go in with the dark. And I can really see that when you're using your blends, it has to be wet. It does take time to absorb, and so you don't have to worry, because you might look at that and say, well, there's still kind of harsh lines. It will blend, but it blends better when it is wet. So, oops, don't use the dark yet. So again, that's why I kind of like to be able to use the light first and just cover the whole area. I've been using, well, I like this color. I use this one a lot. But after today, I think I have to say I'm going to need to order a new one. I am enjoying this color too much. It is a nice bright color. I mean, we have some brighter greens now too, but I just like this color. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with one more. And I don't know about you, when you guys, those of you that like to color, Do you like to just hear quiet, or do you like to do it while you're watching TV or listening to a video or podcast? What do you like to do when you are coloring? Love to hear what you like to do. I like to listen to podcasts or watch a video, sometimes TV, but I'm more apt to watching a video or a podcast. I learn lots of great things. All right, so there are my lights, light and dark green. Now I'm going to go. Now this, you like listening to soft music. Yeah, it's very relaxing, isn't it, Linda? Absolutely. Now, the other thing, when you're using blends, you can see I'm using two different colors. You don't have to use, like in this case, I did use both the granny. Yeah, you guys all like the peace and quiet. Very nice. And you know, there's different moods. Sometimes I'm in a different mood and I do have to have it very quiet. But other times, especially if I'm wanting to listen to something, then it's a good way to keep my mind busy as well and my hands busy. So here you can notice I'm using Sweet Sorbet light and I'm using Cherry Cobbler dark. So the reality is you can mix up your colors. Yes, it is amazing. And how good it is for our brain, isn't it, to be able to, just be calm. Our world is so busy and our days can be so busy, but if we can just be listening to calming music, it's very healing. Okay, so now all I'm going to do, and remember what I said, I'm only going to do one small space at a time. Usually I would highlight the darker spots, but you know what? It takes too much time on these little berries. So you know what I do? I just do dot, dot, dot. And it has the same effect, just like that. Let me go a little bit closer. So you can't tell that I've sat there and poke, poke, poke. Okay, whoops, wrong one. I've got to go light again. So here we go with the light. Okay, and then dot, 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 dot. And then you come back in with the light and you blend it just like that. So there we have these beautiful berries. And you can see there is quite a difference, but they're both very beautiful. Which one do you like? Do you like the color of the watercolor or the blending? The blending has a little bit more texture, doesn't it, in terms of coloring, but they both are very nice. So hang tight. I would love to hear what you think, but we're going to start with another one. So now, where did I put my stamp? Here it is right in front of me. Put that away. Now we're going to do blending. You like the blended one? Yes, me too. I like that more texture look and more bright, bold. Yes, it is. That's right. Bold and vibrant. Absolutely. Oops. I don't have my wipes near me. Dangerous. Oh, why am I doing this? Oops. I'm getting too excited. Wrong one. No. And I'm just going to actually ink it off first. Making a mess. Okay, now I'm going to go over because I'm going to show you a different technique. Like I said, I'm going to show you a whole bunch. So that's why, and I had them both upside down. They look the same. Nope. I want first the mark. So now I am going to bring my black. Now, we do have the black and the white. I am going to show you a way with the black. So we have already used black right here. Remember to do the background before we did any coloring. Well, now I'm going to do basically the same thing, but I am going to do it with the emboss. So it's going to be embossed and it's going to be shiny. And really, you could use the same techniques. You could use the stamping blends, and the watercolor, but I'm going to show you another way because I want to give you lots of ideas and tips as to how to use your stuff. Okay, so now we're going to flip over. And because this is bigger than my paper, I don't have to be super, specific as to where I am putting it. But like I said, I do like to apply more pressure by pushing down. Okay, now I've got to be all ready here for the next step. Now we're going to pull this off. And you do have to kind of literally pull it off. I'm going to put it right here in a spot that doesn't have any. And what we're going to do here now is we're going to put the black powder. And I think, Linda, you were looking for some ideas as to how to use your embossing powder. Well, this is another great way that you can do it. Okay, don't touch the front. Again, just from the top. I'm missing some over here. Makes it really, I guess I must have smudged my finger in there. No, that's okay. All right. Now, because there's so much detail to this, that is the one nice thing we didn't have to worry about trying to use the buddy. Oh, it's Marjorie. Hello, Marjorie. Glad you could still join us live. Perfect. And yes, so because of the fact that we have, we'll get it in screen here, because we have the details so close to each other, we didn't have to worry about using the buddy. And we're just going to turn on the heater, the heat gun, and we are going to get it hot here first. And I can see I'm kind of stretching it here to get to my spot. Okay, and I'm just going to start in one corner and wait for it to get hot. And as it gets hot, you definitely, let's see if I can go a little closer. You can see how, of course, it embosses. I know when I took my first class in Red Deer, oh boy, 2004, I think it was, the demonstrator did embossing, and that's what won me over. So beautiful. And being a preschool teacher, I kind of like magic. Wow, it is beautiful. Okay, and if it's not shiny, then you have to go back over it a bit. So you kind of have to put it to some different angles and just make sure that it's all shiny. Let's see, I think that looks pretty good. Turn this off. Put that safely over there. Okay. Now we have this, and this is looking kind of messy. I'm just going to flip this. Well, that messy too, but that's okay. On this side, it's not messy. Okay, so here, that's a little flat, or not flat, a little curved. I'm going to use the other one that I did. It's lying nice and flat. Okay, so now we're going to use the aqua painters, the watercolor. So they come in 3 sizes, as you can see. This is more for big strokes for a background, and then there's a bigger and a smaller. And which one am I going to use? I think I'm going to try the medium. And when you use these, you'll see that there's a little push right here. And so make sure you don't push it over top of your work. Make sure you push it off to the side. And I can see the water's dripping down. Yep, I got it. Okay, that looks good. Now, I also have a few little blocks. And I have, whoops, don't put that in the ink. Which one am I looking for? Let's stick with the same colors, maybe. Yeah, let's do it to compare. Let's do it to compare. So here's my Granny Apple and here is my red. And I'm using red because they do look like sweet sorbet and red, don't you think? All right, so what I'm going to do is just take my little stamp. I know a lot of people do it in the inside of their stamp cases. I like to put it on blocks because it only, especially the little ones, it only uses a tiny little amount. Okay, so now I'm just going to push that over. And now I'm just going to put my brush on there, make sure there's some water, and I am going to go right on to my berries. So now we're going to see. And because every time you use, now these are still pretty close in color, but as you get more watered down, some of them will be a little bit lighter. And you know what? That's okay, because if you notice, even in the last raspberries that I have here, there's differences in color. Oh, Leanne is joining us now. Hello, Leanne. So it's okay for them to be different colors. So let's see, let's go over here again. I'm not going to color the whole thing. I just want you to kind of have a bit of an idea of what we're doing here. So see how that one is lighter? That's okay. All right, so now we're just going to paint so that we don't see our color anymore. And now we're going to try the Granny Apple Green. Okay, and again, now let's give it a little squeeze, not over your paper. There we go. Now we're going to get the Granny Apple Green. And now we're going to paint. And if you have trouble staying in the lines, well, then you might want to use the smaller one. That is perfectly fine to choose whatever size you feel comfortable doing. I just think it's a little bit faster when you use the medium, but fast isn't always what we want. So a little bit more. Because it's a bigger area, you can see that I'm using my color on my block a lot faster than I did with the red. And so when you are finished using up your ink here, all you do is ink it again, and then you have more ink to play with. So that's what you're going to do with that one. So that's another technique that you can do, just like that. All right, and again, make sure you get it so that it's clear water. Okay, and I'm going to move these way out of the way. So, of course, I would finish my card. You love your water pens. Oh, good, you're using them, Linda. Excellent. Yummy raspberries. I know, Leanne, those are the last 4. I've been enjoying them this week. Yep. So be watching. Now that I have my blog starting to get put together again, I will be showing you some cards that I have made with these little samples, and I'm going to show you also the differences and label them for you so that you can go back and have a look. Now, I got one more. Well, no, I still got another one after this, but one more embossed, and I don't know. Yeah, you can see it. Can you see? I used white embossing powder on the white cardstock. See it there? Okay. So, oops, I need the green. Where did I put the green? I've lost it already. There we go. I thought maybe we would try some other berry colors. So for this, I am going to use the small blending brushes. So not the big one, because you can see the big one is quite a bit bigger. And even though you could use it, it's going to be really, really challenging to be able to get it specifically in there. So I haven't tried this one ahead. You know, we'll just give it a try. So when I do this, and I would say might be better to have another light here. So I always start. So I'm going to show you here. Can you see? This is the end of the berry. I always tend to start at that end and kind of push the color this way a little bit. So I do the same thing when I have dry embossed, and that's how I will color some of my dry embossing folders. So it's not going to get it exactly only on every single little spot on the raspberry, and that's okay. Because this, like I said, this is a different technique. Oops, so this berry's going this way, and I would just start it and I would go like that. There's another little one. Which way is that going? Like I said, I think I would have next time, and if you're doing it, put a light, that's more aiming towards the paper, because I have the light above me. It is making it a little bit harder to see, but that's okay. It gives you the idea. So let's just do one more big one here. This is the end here. Okay, and this one. Okay, so that way, now I'm also gonna just show you, what if we made them into blackberries? Oh, Wendy too. You like your water pens. Oh, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to use is my purple this time, and I'm going to be careful because this is quite dark. But let's see. Don't you love experimenting? I love experimenting. It's so fun to experiment with colors and, of course, all the many different products. As you can see, this is just one background stamp, but all the different techniques that we can use in trying out all these different ways. I love to be able to share those ideas with you. Oh, there's one more here. So I'm not going to do them all. I'm just going to give you a bit of an idea as to the blackberry and the berry burst. And then the nice thing is, what you could do in making this, and that's probably what I will do when I make this into a card, is I will cut it in half, and that way it'll be a strip on my card. So you'll have to be watching for the end results on my blog. But now we're going to take this, and again, we're going to start at the end of the leaf, and we're going to go out, and you have to kind of look, where is that leaf? Okay, so basically it's kind of, like I said, not leaving perfect spots on the leaf. It is smudging over a little bit, but that's okay. It's going to have a different look. So let's just do a few more here. Like I said, I would definitely recommend you have another light that you can aim downward, because the light above is distracting me here. Okay, now let's just finish here. Hard to see where those leaves are. There's one here, and then there's one leaf here. Okay, and then see if I can very carefully. Oh, we didn't go near these berries. Sorry, I'm emphasizing the other one and forgetting about these guys. Let's try this with the blackberry. Okay. Yeah, the old water pens, they were all the same. So I do like that now we have ones that are the different sizes. Which one do you like to use the best? Do you like to make the background ones? Or do you do detail like this? So let's have a look here. I think that's looking pretty good. Now maybe a little bit over here. Anyway, you get the gist. You see how that would look? So again, be watching because I will finish that off. But I wanted to show you how I did the process. And then I'm going to show you one more way. Because up till now, you might be looking at all these and going, what? That's way too much coloring. I can't handle that much coloring. There's a solution. So what if you don't like to do that much coloring? This is what you can do. You could use it just like that, black and white, and put a nice flower or colored sentiment in the middle, and it would look lovely. Now this one, you could just do black, but I actually did emboss this one. So it looks like a fancy designer paper, don't you think? Beautiful. And, oh, how did I lose comments here? There we go. Oh, there's Yvonne. Hello, Yvonne. All right. You'll have to go back and see the many different ways that we did. All right. So this could be a designer paper all on its own and it's a background because it is a background stamp. But here's another thing. You can take your cardstock, and I used Berry Burst cardstock with the Berry Burst stamp ink. And that way, let's go up a little closer. Isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful designer paper. So again, you could see that would have many, many different possibilities just with that alone. So let's bring these all in. So I can't wait to finish these now that we got them started. So I'm just going to put some of these out here so you can see which one is your favorite technique. Is that one or two? No, there's still one more. We got lots of different techniques that we learned here tonight. So which one is your favorite using our big background stamp? Anybody got a favorite? I'd love to see which one you think. And of course, you might think different by the time I finish the cards and I post them on my blog. You might go, actually, maybe I like that one better. So it is amazing what you put together on a card can make it look quite different as well. But anyway, lots of different ways. So again, this was just in black embossed. So to make it a shiny designer paper, this was same color ink on same color cardstock. And this one was blends with the black memento ink. This was the watercolor pens. And this one was our, what was that one? Oh, that was our watercolor. And then our watercolor on the white embossed. Whew, so many different ideas. Anyway, I hope that you got inspired. And yes, I would love to see what you can create. And yes, we'll see you next time, ladies. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me.